Yes, welcome back to DayBreak. The word diet is usually associated with restrictions and limitations, which sometimes demotivates people. And diet trends throughout the years have just gone crazier and crazier, from the raw milk diet to strict juice cleanse. So basically, do they actually work? Well, let's get to the bottom of it today with Farina. And good morning, Farina.
Good morning.
Welcome to the show.
Thank
for
you
coming to DayBreak.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, so you've done it all. And then tell us your experience. Maybe not all, some of them.
Some, yeah. So I guess, I don't know, for the last 15 years I've tried vegan for 3 years, vegetarian for another 3. I've done many things, intermittent fasting.
Okay.
Then gluten-free and paleo was basically the one that I stuck with.
Right.
I've tried ketogenic diets. I've tried everything almost because I just want to be healthier and look better and feel better.
Did it work? Did it make you feel better? Did it, you know...
Do I look better? No. Thank you. No, I feel really good. I think over the last, as I said, many years, I think I've stuck with pretty much a lifestyle that I follow in the last, I would say, 6 years.
Okay.
In the middle, I used to live in Canada, and then when I used to live in Canada, I was really depressed because it was really cold. It was minus 30 degrees.
Okay.
And, you know, I was vegetarian at the time.
Yes.
And
how did that work, being, you know,
in the
having
cold
4 seasons,
and then vegetarian? I don't know, because I only heard about like being vegetarian is supposed to be healthy and like it's supposed to be good for you.
Right.
And I think it works for some people. And that's what I learned, you know, like what works for you may not work for other people.
True.
And vice versa. And in the middle of depression, I also felt like I was being very sluggish and I don't really, you know, feel really good. So I tried almost everything, and then I also saw a few doctors actually. So I did go in the, you know, with professional people, and we did what we called an elimination diet.
Okay, what is that? Could you tell us about it?
Well, because in the beginning, you know, I thought it was because of my lifestyle. You know, I was partying a lot, drinking. Like when I was in the U.S., like I was partying a lot, I was drinking a lot, and then, you know, I didn't really exercise, and I was eating this vegetarian diet. But then my vegetarian diet was consist of, you know, cheese pizzas and you know, bread with Nutella, for example, and that's vegetarian because there's no animal products in there, right? But at the same time, I just don't feel good about it. And then so when I moved to Canada, like I tried, okay, now I want to be healthy, right? The way I know it. So instead of eating white rice, I would change it into brown rice because brown rice is healthier. And instead of white bread, I would eat whole wheat bread, right? And then instead of, I will have oatmeals in the morning and I will eat lots of fruits and I will, you know, change into eating honey instead of sugar, things like that. What things that I think would be, you know, I thought would be really good for you. And then after I switched that and then I started exercising, stop partying too much, stop drinking that much alcohol.
So basically more into a change of lifestyle.
Yes, doing more yoga and all of that. You know, things improved. I also sleep more, but it wasn't very, I felt it wasn't very optimal still. I was feeling quite easily fatigued, like easily tired. I felt like I'm always in and out of a cold, like flu, you know, like all the time. And I know it was cold, but it shouldn't feel that way.
So it compromised your
immunity. So then I went to see a doctor, and then we did this, what we called an elimination diet. Elimination diet is when you have these 45 days and you don't really eat a lot of the things that humans are prone to be allergic to.
So basically you have menus of each every day are different, basically.
So there are these groups of foods that people are generally, you know, not generally, but some are allergic to, or like frequently they're allergic to. So like peanuts, soy, wheat, milk, tomatoes, strawberries. So elimination diet, you remove all of these things. And then you got back into it actually a week at a time, and then you have to journal, and the doctor actually check and monitor you. And only throughout this period, then
for 45 days.
For 45 days, you basically eat very bland food, like
everything is clean. Like
everything is super clean. Like most of them are like
salt.
No, you eat salt still. But then after 45 days, you add things back, like very systematically, and then
the one that you left, the one that you put it out.
So like after you are eating clean for 45 days, then you kind of add back, the wheat. And then the next week it was the dairy, the next week it's the sugar. So then you kind of can see the way your body feels. And how much are you going to the bathroom, or are you not going to the bathroom? And then do you have rashes? Do you have pimples, acne?
Very medical.
Yeah, so like it's a very long approach, but I found that to be very helpful because then I was.
Do you combine that with sports also, where you going out to the gym? Do you combine that, or just?
I did. I don't know if that would be the best approach for people because if you are trying to change something in your lifestyle, and as I've learned this, it's easier to just do one thing at a time, to be honest, and not mix them all together. Because then if you failed in one thing, you feel like you're failing in other areas. So for example, like, oh, I eat my sugar today and I'm not going to the gym, so you feel kind of like double down when that doesn't work. So I guess especially if you're really wanting to change a habit, just focus on one. That's it. Like focus on the food. So when I did that, the elimination diet, I basically realized that I'm very sensitive towards gluten. Like I have gluten intolerance and gluten sensitivity. So then I start cutting off gluten, and then I felt immediately almost better. So now I am just, I think what I've learned the best is to be really smart about it and actually do your research before you do anything else, because what works for you may not work for anyone else. And I try to question a lot and like be a very, very much like a skeptic, because all of these things that we heard about dieting and food, we just heard it from people and we don't even know.
What other thing that you should take into consideration?
Like for example, something like oh, brown rice is better for you. Well, is it? Have you ever see the research behind it?
About it,
or whole wheat bread, right? Because a lot of these things. And I'm a corporate person, right? So I understand the beauty of marketing, but at the same time, some of the things that we learn, like breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Is it? Like, have you ever thought about it? Like, why do we come up with that, right? Why do we eat cereal in the morning? Like, is that really healthy? And I don't think people, and also, in Indonesia we have the food pyramid, right? We call it 4 Sehat 5 Sempurna, 4 healthy, 5th perfection, right? Like 5th into perfection. So like the perfection is milk, but when you look into the human civilization, we only started drinking milk when humans became farmers, and therefore we keep cows. And at the same time, like actually human babies stop developing lactase, that enzyme that digest lactose, right? Things like that.
Yeah, that's the thing I want to ask you. Basically, there's so many programs of diet these days, and to choose which one is the best for us. How do we know that? Do we have to browse it up first? Because like what you said, not everyone works at everyone. Like for example,
I think one is not to be lazy and like really ask questions and be a skeptic. Really,
should we try each of them? After researching,
so you kind of want to filter because there's everything, right? Just try to like, okay, well, I've seen testimonials, my friends have tried this, now I'm going to try it, right? Because you also don't want to try everything, because honestly, like there are these diets that are really crazy. You eat 100 bananas a day, you just
only lemon water and
and like how is that even possible? Like how can we actually survive with that? You only eat just like all you eat no salt at all.
Or there's also the one that goes go fasting from a couple of hours. You go fasting.
We know.
Intermittent fasting. So I guess it all comes back to, for me at least, I look at things more holistically. Like, how are we built? Like, we are humans, and humans haven't really